Motivational Drive-By, Coco here. How you doing? This is number 61, which is very similar to number 60. Interesting. There is a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. And I'm pretty sure that has to do with some of my Buddhist writings that I've read. And I'm going to spin this a little differently than the last one. In your life, there's levels of morality, there's levels of interaction and relationship and things like that. And we all know what's right and we all know what's wrong. And there are no gray areas. You know what's right, you know what's wrong. Now you may cut corners, you may make gray areas, but there are none. You know when you're treating somebody badly. You know when you're taking advantage of somebody. You know when you're doing the wrong thing. You know when you're being judgmental. You know when you're being intolerant, hopefully. And you know when you're being hateful. Or maybe you don't because somebody else is telling you what the rules are and you're just listening to them. You know, there are people out there who hate gays. And there are people out there who hate blacks or Mexicans or, you know, Orientals or whites, or, you know, because somebody told them to do it. It's not their own mind. Their religion told them to hate Muslims, to hate Catholics, to hate Christians, to hate Protestants, to hate, you know, anybody who's not their religion. You know, they're all going to hell. It's all rubbish. My gosh, if you let somebody tell you what to believe, if there's some guy on some pulpit telling you who to hate, who to like, what to think, you're brainwashed. Gee, is that wrong? I think so. You know, you have a mind of your own. Tell these people to pound sand. Nobody should be telling you who to like, who not to like, what to believe. Years ago, back when I used to believe that rubbish, I was judgmental. I would look at people and decide before I even met them. Guess what? Every single time I judged somebody, I was wrong. Every time. No exception. So I realized, screw this. This is stupid. I am being stupid. And I stopped judging people. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I believe everybody is good and honest. And guess what? 98% of the time I'm right. You know, I work with a lot of high school students who I have the highest respect for. A lot of them have gotten a really crummy hand dealt to them. People are telling them what to do, what to think, what to believe, and it's rubbish. But I'm in a classroom of high school kids, and I can walk out of the room, go to the bathroom, come back, and they're fine. Because they know I trust them, and because I trust them 98% of the time, it works. Maybe even more than that. I'm rarely disappointed because my expectations are really high, and everybody knows they're high, and they excel. But I never talk down to people. I don't ever belittle people. You know, people are who they are. And there's good in everyone. There's some bad, and there's also good. And if you look for the good, you'll find it. If you look for the bad, you always will find it. I mean, there's bad in me. I'm working on it. There's not a lot of, you know, not a lot of bad in me. One thing. And I show the good all the time. I make the attempt. I don't like that word. Every single day. I want to be a role model. I want people to say, hey, you know, I can take the high road. I can be honest. You know, I talk about I'm lazy, so I'm honest. You know, if I tell lies, I got to remember the lies. Being a liar is complicated. I know lots of liars. In fact, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and he was Pietro. Actually, it was Thursday. I was talking to Pietro, and he was saying that, you know, he knew a woman who every different person got a different story from her. And he says, how do you remember all this stuff? And balling up, she didn't. She just, made stuff up as she went along. No, I can't live like that. I can't be that kind of person. It's easy to tell the truth. It's easy to be honest because you can. And it's not complicated because then you don't have to change the story for different people. You don't have to remember. You don't have to do any of that kind of nonsense. It's like, oh, okay. I tell the same story to 10 people because it's the truth. And it's easy. Yeah, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. You need to walk the path. You need to take the high ground. You need to be that better person every single day. You need to help people who need help. You need to be a lover. Leo Buscaglia was one of my favorite teachers, and I probably, if you look at my cauldron of influence, there's probably a double or triple helping of Leo Buscaglia in there, because it's all about love. It's all about being a lover. And I'm talking about loving people. Treating them, treating people the way you want to be treated. Okay, that's a good start. Treat people better than you want to be treated. Go into relationships without expectations of reciprocation. If you don't ever want to get hurt in a relationship, if you go in with the understanding you're going to give, and you don't expect to get anything back, everything you get is a bonus. Can you imagine? How great would your life be if you just gave and gave and gave and gave? And then everything you got in return is like, wow, I didn't expect this. Thank you. Now, granted, there's people who will take and take and take and take, and you gotta steer clear of them at some point, because there are people who just take and never want to contribute, never. And that's who they are. And you grow away from them, because at some point you just get tired of it. But in all relationships, you come to give, and if you get something back, wow, how cool is that? Oh my God, it's like the most amazing thing when you get back. But if you expect nothing, now relationships are over when you start believing that, okay, I gave you 5 pounds of love, and you only gave me 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds back. What's wrong with you? Well, but that's your scale. Maybe on their scale, you gave them 3 pounds of love, and they're giving you 5 pounds of love. See, when you start weighing and measuring and looking at your watch and stuff like that, or looking at your scale, you'll find that it's always a bad thing, and you'll never win. It's always a lose. It's lose-lose. So, know the path. Walk the path. Be that better person. Be a lover. As always, have a most stupendous, amazing, spectacular day. Coco, out.